No, I just showed it. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, all you out there in Eorzea, welcome to She Heals, I Tank, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. Today is Friday, March 6th, and this is episode 208 of the Shit Podcast, and the first episode ever without Vegan Pete. And if you didn't already know, March is not only when we celebrate Little Ladies' Day in Final Fantasy XIV, but it's also Women's History Month, and today is actually like International Women's Day. So I think it only makes sense that we make tonight a ladies gaming podcast. And joining me in all her awesomeness is the Moogle Mama, part of the Aethernet stream team. Yes, the amazing Raze. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
I'm so excited to be here, and I'm honored to be the what is it? The co-host on like the only non-Pete episode.
I'm so glad you joined me.
How'd you choose me?
So I chose. Well, I actually was gonna have it be 3 people. I reached out.
Right.
Yeah, it was gonna be.
Oh yeah.
I forgot to turn that off. Thank you for following, Kazdon. So I apologize, podcast listeners. Now that is not Vegan Pete's voice, but it sounds exactly like Pete's voice.
Oh
yeah.
no!
Oh no, it's gonna keep happening. Oh no.
So you said no, Pete. I think that lasted about 30 seconds.
But that's not actually him. That's actually
I know, but it's enough.
okay. All right.
By the way, if you're not following this podcast and these wonderful people, you need to. I'm just saying, hit that follow button now.
Thank you. I was like, oh, I was thinking of a thing. I'm typing. I'm totally blanking on the other girl I just asked, and she's freaking hilarious. And Zepla, actually, was the other person I asked. And she actually said yes. And then I was like, oh, wait, you don't live in the United States, so this time zone will not work for you. So that, yeah.
Especially because I was like, hey, so you want to do it later so that I can go to work?
I was like, hey, girls, where we already start. We're good.
Yeah, right. Well, now it's just us. So.
Yes. So I was like, I thought about adding a third person, and then I thought, you know what? Raze and I already had a blast meeting each other at TwitchCon. Like, we already know we get along, and I was already kind of nervous about all the little ins and outs of managing all the technical side of things. So I thought we'd just keep it just the 2 of us and have a lot of fun. Oh yeah, that's what I didn't ask anybody else. I just stopped there. I just went, okay. We're just gonna.
Not gonna lie, I left that meetup at TwitchCon going, I think I just made a new best friend.
I might have like messaged one of my best friends going, okay, there's like competition now. She's like, oh, that's so cute. So like you were immediately like, it's gotta be Raze. Like I love talking to her. It's like an excuse to get to talk to you for an hour and a half, 2 hours about Final Fantasy. So yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I realized I've already had my first mess up of the night, you guys. I didn't find all the people who have subbed for the month. So thank you, everyone. Apologizing for not thanking you by name, but this is my first time. So
it's okay, guys. She gets a pass. Pete's not here and he does it, right?
Yes, he usually does do that. And it's usually done directly before the podcast, but instead I was working out the technical elements because we're doing a video chat through Discord. I had to set up other stuff. So thank you for subbing, Aurora. So I can thank you, Aurora42, for subscribing for 10 months in a row. There's one.
Woo!
All right. So Pete actually put together a couple questions for me to ask you, Raze. This was Pete's little contribution. So
okay.
So that not only me, but people who are listening to the podcast who may not be familiar with you can get to know you a little bit. So,
sure.
When did you start playing Final Fantasy XIV?
I started playing 14 back in 1.0, actually.
Damn.
But I mean, I didn't play it super long.
Mm-hmm.
I have played several other MMOs, including obviously World of Warcraft is one that a lot of people have played. I played Ion. I actually met my husband in Ion, by the way.
I love that.
So I've played Ion. I played Guild Wars 2. We played Star Wars: The Old Republic for a while before it went free to play.
Nice.
And became whatever it is now.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I feel like all the games that I enjoyed for like when they were pay to play. Yeah.
Nice.
Just yeah. But yeah, played 1.0. For whatever reason, I remember playing it on my MacBook Pro that I had like partitioned part of the hard drive so I could play Windows, and it somehow ran 1.0, albeit, you know, not super great, but
Right.
it did. And I played 1.0 for a bit. Went back and forth because I mean it was just really hard to play. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, how do I level? Do I just kill things? Like, where are the quests? What do I like? I can't jump. What is this?
You couldn't jump in 1.0?
Not when I was playing it. I think
Ooh.
they added it a lot later.
Okay.
But there was a time when it was strictly keyboard. Like your mouse did nothing. And you
Oh.
couldn't jump.
I knew there was no auto attack. And I do want to say, to jump back in chat really quick, people
I
are having
remember
technical difficulties. And I do want to say, if you're watching the stream and it's black, if you're on mobile, that seems to be an issue that's been happening with Twitch sometimes. If you're on a PC, try reloading your screen. I apologize. I didn't have somebody here to answer that. I don't want to leave anybody going, what's happening? But no, so were you there when you got to see the world end? I'm back.
I was not. At that point, I wasn't playing anymore. I kind of wish I was. I'm so bummed that I missed out on that like legacy campaign. I have the tattoo on like my legacy character.
Oh, that's so cool.
Square, please make it so that if you had a legacy account at all, like all of your characters could have the tattoo, because I would love it on my main character.
That
just
sucks. I actually didn't know that either. I just assumed it was like
no, you get it on whatever existed in 1.0 and that's it.
If you Fantasia that character, do you lose it?
No, I think you still keep it on that character.
That's
but
good,
it's just like I had put so much time into like my current character.
Right. No, I understand that.
I think at the time that 2.0 came out, I was playing Guild Wars 2 at the time. And I got like the beta email because I had played 1.0. So they were like, you're in automatically. I was like, oh, cool. Okay, I'll check it out. And then I couldn't stop playing, even though they like wiped a bunch. I just couldn't stop playing. And here we are.
That's awesome.
I've played it like the whole time.
That's so I started back at 2.0. I started in 2.0. Basically when they brought it to PlayStation 4, because at the time we didn't have gaming PCs, and Peter bought it for me because he knew I played 11 and I liked previously other games, and I was just kind of stuck at home because money was kind of tight at the time. So he's like, here, play this game that I know you really like. And then we both wanted to play, and we only had the one PS4, and so then the PC came into play, and then the second PC came into play.
Yeah.
And now here we are right in the podcast. So, you know. In Final Fantasy 14, or MMOs in general, honestly, what is your favorite type of content to do?
Ooh. Well, you'd asked me this a couple years ago, I would have said raiding. Raiding is still some of my favorite content, though my community will definitely tell you that I don't get to do it very much. In fact, I haven't really gotten to do any sort of like savage raiding since for over a year, maybe even 2 at this point. It's been a while. Life has gotten in the way and it happens, but yeah, raiding is some of my favorite content, just like the accomplishment of obtaining and like completing something that you work so hard for and spend a lot of time on. Some of my favorite content. But Final Fantasy 14, I think my favorite content is always the main scenario. It's like the storyline is like bar none, I think some of the best content of pretty much any game at this point. It's like, it's not even just Final Fantasy 14 or MMOs or whatever. It's just like the storyline is just top notch for like any game I think I've ever played personally. So
I 100% agree. Pete like comes and asks, like, okay, so we're gonna talk about what our favorite thing was. But I was like, MSQ. Like, I don't even have to think about it. Like, it was MSQ. Like, that's just all there is to it. And that's, I think that's a very Final Fantasy thing. And so, I don't know, it's like if the story isn't there for a Final Fantasy game, it doesn't matter how great the combat is. You're not going to get everyone behind it.
Right.
And so speaking of Final Fantasy games, kind of a nice little segue, have you played any of the other games?
I've played a bit. I played so like when I was younger, and I remember playing a little bit of 7, uh, and on PlayStation 1, right? Like it's been so long. But I only think I cleared like the first area or whatever, like the reactor. Guys, it's been a long time, okay? Forgive me if I'm remembering anything incorrectly. Like
They
that's all I
won't.
remember.
They never forget.
I was little, and my brother and our neighbor like literally stole like the PlayStation 1 from me, and I couldn't continue.
So you were in a household like me.
Yeah, so it's like it's just me and my younger brother,
Yep.
and like we constantly fought over the console,
And you couldn't
that's
hog
just
it.
how it was.
You couldn't hog
Yeah,
it for a
and
game like that.
no, and it's like, it's fine. I got him back a couple times.
Of course.
I remember playing 3 on like DS or something.
Mhm.
Didn't finish that. Like
okay.
I haven't really finished any of them. I played 10.
Mhm.
I haven't finished that one either.
Oh, well, see, so 10 at the time somebody I was dating was playing it. And he would play and then I would play and we'd take turns, but like you weren't allowed to go past the story. And so it was like it became almost like watching a movie together. And I think that's a really cool way to approach any Final Fantasy is like you can play the game when I'm not around, but if you get to a major cutscene, you had better stop. And that's kind of how we treated it. It was a really fun way to kind of experience that game.
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I've watched plenty of people play. Like I've watched people play 7. Like I had some close friends and stuff that I watched play 7. I had a friend, my best friend growing up, where he would sit around for hours. I've actually talked about this I think recently, even like he would sit around for hours and wait for him to like find a party for 11. Like,
yes.
And just sit and like eat chips in his living room and talk about whatever school, and that's it.
And this is like before you had Netflix on the other monitor to keep you busy.
Yeah. Like this was like you literally are just staring at whatever chat and hoping someone takes his invite or something.
Oh, I do remember that. So KK McLeod asks, are you going to try the remake demo?
Yes, I'm going to try the demo, I think
that's awesome.
But it'll definitely be different for me since like I don't have the preconceived like whole notion of 7.
Oh, that you have to. They did a poll.
Yes, we did a poll on my channel, and it was like what, like 4-2 that yes. Like
no
yes. Duh,
awesome.
Raz.
So what Pete started doing, because he realizes that 14 is actually his first Final Fantasy game. So he dedicates every Sunday morning and he streams it, because if he streams it, it's like on the calendar.
Yeah.
And he started at 10 because 10 was my favorite, and then he's going backwards to 9, and now he's trying to finish 8 before the 7 remake comes out, so he can finish that and go back and try that. And I think it's a really cool way to do it. And then when you're not starting at 1, it's not like a graphic shock. You like slowly progress back to the older graphics.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice way to kind of approach it.
See, I don't even mind the old graphics. Like that doesn't bother me though. But yeah, I've started kind of trying to splice in like a game that's not 14. Obviously since 5.2 has come out, I haven't really gotten to do that. But
right.
We just finished Kingdom Hearts 3 right before.
I remember I rated you and I like had to run away with my ears covered because I haven't finished it yet.
I haven't gotten to the DLC yet, but I was just like, okay, you know what? Like this is gonna be my method for actually like beating games, because I'm like, I mean, like a lot of people, like I'm very bad about like completing games, so it's just like I need to do something where it's like I actually have to finish, and we'll just do it that way. So
I'm the same way. I have a Senua's Sacrifice. I don't know if you saw that game. Very dark, kind of moody. And it's a very big emotional like drain when you play it. So you almost have to like prepare yourself to get back into it. And I was like, I want to finish this game, but can I deal with that right now?
Yeah, I have to put myself in a mood for certain games. Like I've still got I finished Little Nightmares. I don't like spooky, scary, creepy anything. Little Nightmares, I started for like a Halloween type thing a couple years ago, and I finished the base game, and then I started the DLC, and I think I've still got like 2 sections of the DLC left. And so like they'll give me a hard time every so often, like, you need to finish it. I'm like, well, technically I finished it.
You're not the boss of me.
I just haven't done the DLC, and I need to be in the right frame of mind to sit here and like be that anxious all night. That's really what it is.
There's the one murder game, I guess, where like there's the 3 people and they're trying to survive the night and the one person plays the murderer. A lot of people stream it.
Oh, Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight. Yeah. So
I did that one last Halloween.
Oh, it looks terrifying. Well, so they were going to get me to play and they were going to have me be the murderer and we were going to, or the killer or whatever, because
being the killer isn't as bad.
That's what they said. And they said it'd be hilarious because they'd all played the game. And so they knew what they were doing. And so having the killer be the person who's terrified and also has no idea what they're doing would be really funny to watch. So maybe that ended up not happening because of life, as you know, life things.
Yeah, but I was anxious like that entire night, and I think I cussed a couple times, which I don't really cuss on stream normally.
Well, you're on the shit podcast, so you can get it all out now.
There was a lot of screams, I know for sure, of just dumb stuff. Like I would like turn a corner and there would be the killer, be like, oh.
Yeah, no, just the reaction of like, I can't not with the
not swearing. I know. I am an adult. I do swear in my free time.
I want to get more creative with my swearing, where it's like the best description I can give is like Margot from The Magicians, the show, where she
you don't want to just say fuck all the time?
No, I don't. I want to just be like, well, that's a load of twat. Like I'd rather say something like that than where it's not quite appropriate, but it's at least something like, I don't know. I'm working to get there. So.
Yeah, it's really funny. So for anyone that hasn't been around my channel, so I'm personally family friendly still for the most part. But I've loosened the reins on chat. But there used to be a time where even chat had to be family friendly and they couldn't cuss. And so Kupo was our was our substitute word.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really funny going into public because like we were legitimately trying to like stop swearing. We got young kids. So it's just like we were trying to really like cut ourselves back from swearing so much. And so we would just throw Kupo in a conversation with people who've never played Final Fantasy or aren't gamers.
This so much.
And it's like, what the Kupo? And they're like, what the heck did you just say? Like what are you trying to say right now? And I'm just like, oh no. Then now I have to like explain. They're like, oh, it's my substitute swear word. And they're like, that's a really weird word.
Like, you're a really weird word. That's how
you know what?
I'm an adult.
I'm sorry that I don't want to say the F word every 10 seconds like I used to, okay?
I love that. Like, I'm going to try to start adding that to my repertoire. So if you ever hear me swear Kupo, now you'll think of Rose.
I love it. I love it.
Amazing. Like, oh, Kupo. Like, I'm picturing that, like, when they're talking, every time they go, Kupo, they're actually saying, fuck your face. But really.
I mean, really, though, like, once we started doing that, because we started doing that, it was still, I think it was still before Heaven's Word, even. Mm-hmm. So, like, when you got to the Turning Mist and you start doing all of the Moogle quests, I'm like, oh my gosh, this just makes this so much more enjoyable.
Yes.
I mean, everybody already hates the Moogles.
So I actually don't, because I never did those quests. Because Pete was sitting next to me complaining so much that I was like, well, I'm just not going to do them.
I always just say, because people, like, this is the first thing they'll usually say when they come in my channel is like, I really hate Moogles, or like, I hate the Turning Mist. And I'd be like, well, you know what? I have already disciplined them for being such lazy Kupos that it's fine. Okay. They just need a little discipline. All right. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. It'll be fine. I'm hoping they will grow up to be, decent little Kupos.
They know better now. They know better.
They maybe know better. They've at least been taught to.
Doesn't mean they're going to actually follow through.
Exactly.
So you have been streaming for a while now. I haven't done my research to know how long exactly, but do you have like two-part question? Because we haven't even gotten into the podcast. We're going to chat for a while. We can blame Pete for this part. What is your favorite content to stream, regardless of what game or game or anything? And then do you have any tips for anyone who's maybe interested in looking to start streaming?
Okay. So favorite content that I like to stream. I mean, I love main scenario and it's really fun. Like, I have a hard time because, like, every patch I go through this, I'm like, do I want to do this by myself or do I want to do this with stream?
Mhm.
And it's like, I could do, like, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of free time to do things anyway.
Right.
So it's like, usually my game time is my stream time anyway, which is why I have to like schedule in other things. But, when it comes to like main scenario, like, I even asked, I feel like the last weekend, because I didn't get to do this patch was a little harder for me because my whole house came down with the flu last week. So we were just like all
I
like
saw that. I did see that.
all out of commission. I like couldn't do anything. I could barely get out of bed. But finally, I, like near the end of the week, I started getting up and like I was like on my computer and I would do like little things. So I started like ocean fishing. I was like, do I want to do main scenario? Do I want to wait? And like, you know, I would like confer with my mods. I'm like, what do you think? And one of them was like, well, if you're on, just go do it. And I was like, but it's kind of fun experiencing it with chat,
Yeah.
especially if it's not a spoiler for them anymore. Because at this point, it's like most people have done it, unless
Mhm.
they're like really behind or life, you know.
This is
But
normally
most
the
people
week
have at
we
least
spoil, so I get it. Like you have to wait like a certain period of time before you can
yeah,
like.
I'm still not even done.
Oh,
Like
I'm not
we
either.
barely like scraped scraped the main scenario for this patch. But which is like it's just so much more fun to do with the channel and with the stream because like they're getting, especially if it's like something you haven't done yet,
Yep.
right? So it's all just genuine reaction and it's like that's some of my favorite content to watch
Yep.
is like people's reactions to things. So I feel like what would I want to watch? And that's probably a good tip for streaming, by the way, is like what do you want to watch? Would you watch this? Then that's probably at least a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Would you watch your content? Um, do you feel like what you're doing is boring? Then it's probably boring. Although I feel like I'm boring half the time, so it is.
I fully agree with that. Like actually, so it's interesting because Pete and I do like a husband and wife with two very very different personalities. And
Mhm.
I took the run that we did from Ruby Weapon, and it was my first clear, and we did the dual stream, just normal mode. And I said, you know what? I want to start posting more stuff on YouTube. And so I the first thing I did was I clipped that from or highlighted that from Twitch, and then I posted it. And he's like, that's getting like more views than any video we've ever posted. And I was like, well, I like watching people clear things for the first time. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Like, we
Yeah,
just have different opinions because to him, he's like, that's not something I'd ever want to watch. And so it's kind of interesting. Like, don't doubt yourself. I guess what
yeah.
I'm saying.
Like, what would you like to watch?
Hmm.
And you know, I mean, and sometimes uh, it's hard because like there's certain things where like people really enjoy watching it, but you're like, I really just don't like doing this. If you're not having fun
Yep.
doing what you're doing, then it's not worth putting your time into because at the end of the day, people are going to tell if you're sitting here trying to fake it.
Yep.
Um, I mean, my number one tip for anyone that's wanting to get into streaming is always just like, unless you're doing a character, because there's obviously plenty of people who do a character persona. Um, be yourself. I mean, the people like you know, authenticity and
Yep.
and being genuine. I mean, I've been doing this since gosh, I hit the go live button in 2013,
Dang,
January
girl.
2013. So
I knew it was a
I've been
bit,
doing
but
it for a little over 7 years.
you are Mama
And
Moogle.
I mean, and that said, like it's like I've got it's not like I have got a huge viewership to boast or anything like that. I mean, life gets in the way.
Yep.
I mean a big thing right now too is like people are pushing self-care,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Like if you feel sick or something or you feel like you just can't do it that day for whatever reason, like
Yeah.
it's okay to take a day off. I've taken like hiatuses and yeah, it sucks having to build it back up,
Hmm.
but it's possible. Like I took a hiatus after I had my first kid, came back and pushed and I got partnered. So it's like I had to build from the ground up. I took another hiatus for my second and there was a lot of other things going on. So I wasn't streaming at all regularly. I was streaming what like once a month. I know that some of my people in are in the chat. It's like I was streaming like once a month for like a year until I finally was like, okay, you know what? I'm ready to come back on a schedule.
Yeah.
And and yeah, so like we're slowly building back up, but even then, like, you know, the end of the day, I have fun doing what I'm doing. And if that's just hanging out with all my friends in channel, because at this point I consider my community like my friends.
Mhm.
It's,
As you should. I think you should.
and that's what that's what I enjoy. Great. I get to do that a couple nights a week, and my husband is super amazing and watches the babies and makes sure that they're like put in bed and all that stuff, and we've got like a whole system worked out because we're
Partners.
partners. So
Oh yeah.
wait, hang on, this one's for little.
Thank you. Little Vegeta.
Little.
That was. Oh God, I forgot to turn that off, and
Speaking
I do
of-
want to remind you guys that that's not Pete's voice. That is actually the generic voice, even though it sounds exactly like him.
Speaking of streaming for so long, Little has been my master mod for almost the entire time that I've been
Aw.
streaming. So he's been with me since the end of 2013, I think. So it's like about 6 years or something like that.
Mhm.
I don't know how he can stand me at this point. But
Aw, I get it. I get it.
it's like we're best friends or something. I don't
It's
know.
odd not seeing a sword. I understand that when I go to other channels.
That's
Yeah,
true.
so there's been, so if you guys are keeping count, I've messed up on 2 things so far. I'm doing pretty good though. All right, so now I'm gonna try to get us back on track. We're actually gonna do some podcast stuff other than
Oh, yeah, there's a
interviewing is
podcast
podcast. Well,
tonight.
no, we're interviewing. This is like podcasty stuff. Like this is, I think we did a good job there. So now it's time for everyone's favorite segment, Greenleaf Minute, which is very weird to intro on my own. So if you guys are new here, the Greenleaf Minute is something that started, it's my favorite segment of the show. And it was because every time I came across something new and simple in game, and I thought, you know what, I should tell somebody about that because I think that would help them, kind of like a Greenleaf. So it's usually a short little idea or something we come across that will help somebody. And so this week's Greenleaf was inspired actually by a comment on our Discord, as well as the oh so popular ocean fishing. So 2 of the most coveted items of 5.2 patch have been the major general minion, as well as the shark mount named Habodos. I am not going to cover how you're going to get fishing points to obtain these items because that's a bit of a heated topic at the moment. What I am going to share with you is who you need to talk to once you've already gotten them, like you've reached those points. So there is an NPC that has been around for a really, 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 really long time. And his name is Jonathas. And he is located in northern Old Gridania in an area called Apkalu Falls. It's where the 2 paths converge north of the amphitheater and the delivery Moogle area. He is who you need to talk to in order to obtain your achievement rewards, and he will be the one who gives you the baby shark goodies. Be sure to check in with him every once in a while to see what sort of awesome or ridiculous trinkets he hands out next, because he is oh so easy to forget.
I'm very tempted to sing Baby Shark.
I did that intentionally. I was like, who's going to get it in their head now? Your chats, yeah. All right. And I actually
it's in
avoided
your
it for a
head.
very long time. So my adult friends did it to me. So if you notice, so I actually I realized there's another thing. I forgot the tweets at the end of the episode too. But so the next episode, or element coming up, I had put a tweet of the week that I liked, and then a tweet came in yesterday that I wanted to replace it with, so I deleted that one. But so now it's time for Avi's least favorite intro of the podcast.
Tweet of the week.
Oh, that's so much better.
Sorry,
Please?
Peter, you're not allowed to have any segments.
No Pete voice at all. Sorry, Chili. Chili totally tweeted because he thought he was going to get the audio. Where Avi's driving the ship
I just
now.
realized I said Peter, and I meant Pete.
He's Peter. Okay. Sorry, because I'm talking. This is a ladies' night. So Peter was Peter from the day I started dating him, and then we started podcasting. He's vegan Pete, and then he actually got mad at me because out in public I called him Pete, and I'm like, bitch, please, you can't be Pete and Peter. Like that is not fair.
It's okay. My husband, when I don't respond, he starts calling me Raze in public. So,
It's really bad. I've actually thought of okay, Avi. No, that's not your name. That's not your name. Don't do that.
the best is doing it at work. Like, oh, Roz, what do you do? Elise, what are you doing?
I didn't say that out loud. I didn't.
I know. It's like, oh,
That's okay,
come
guys.
on.
I don't do this stream thing where I verbalize everything I do.
Never.
No. What? All right, so my favorite tweet, I actually this is it's a two-part tweet. When I read it, it actually kind of brought a tear to my eye because it's kind of, I don't know, it's just really, really cool thing to me. So I'm gonna just read it. So this tweet comes from @Lufania. I hope I pronounced that right. I apologize if I didn't. And it says, back when I started playing, I listened to @SheHeals iTank recap the Omega story. I was surprised how much care and love was put into the characters. I knew people said the story was good, but I never heard spoilers before, so I thought, holy shit, this is an MMO? To be honest, that recap convinced me to sub, and now that I've finally gotten there, I'm so happy it lived up to expectation. And that's just a side story. Currently working through patch MSQ to get to Shadowbringers and Ivalice raids. I can't help it. I want to see it all. I thought that's so
awesome.
Cool. So yeah, that's actually probably one of my favorite tweets we've ever received, tag ever, to have someone say, you talked about this story and it exceeded my expectations and it's now why I play the game. I don't know. I love that.
I love that.
So yeah.
There's a lot of times where people don't voice that enough, so it's really easy for us to be caught up in our own bubble of well, are people liking what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
And when people voice that, and especially when things like that make such a profound impression on people, it's you don't know unless someone tells you. So you're just oh my god, okay, so people are resonating with what I'm doing. It might not be everybody, but I made an impact in somebody's life, or I turned one person's head.
And I get it. I'm a serial lurker. There's multiple, Raze, I lurk in your stream all the time.
I 1,000,000% get that. That's I'll come into a channel and be like, hi, and then I'm there for their entire stream, but I will say two other words.
I actually, every podcast I do, I have Hyper Pixie Gaming, who's my best friend. I have her stream running because she streams on Friday nights as well in the background on every computer, because I at least want to give her that view. So
it's so thoughtful.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the things. All right. So now we've got news and notes from around the realm. I feel so weird. These are all the bits that I don't normally say. All right. And it's also a pink wine night because it's Ladies' Day.
Hey.
Also, so if you guys are live here on stream, I learned an OBS thing and I set up a slideshow to show you guys some images where Pete acted like it was so difficult, but I did a thing and maybe I've just changed our entire presentation. You don't know.
You did.
All right.
I believe.
So if you're on stream with us now, you can see that the Mog Station has added some new optional items. I have to say that the Rothgar wearing the new flower crown has a really come hither kind of expression on his face.
Oh yeah.
He's got that boy band I know I look good, boo.
Hey baby, how you doing?
Love me so much. So now you can get your very own. There's NC Pete suddenly here, guys. You don't know.
Bae was waiting.
Oh yeah, we had a whole fun video audio this before we started.
Oh yeah, yes we did.
You guys, I do have to say, we got on the call half an hour before we started the podcast and there were 0 technical difficulties. You're just getting all of them live.
There was one, I think, volume balancing issue. That's it. It was just an adjustment.
I think the biggest issue is you didn't have wine.
Yeah, but we figured that out too late
as well. But the podcast hadn't started yet. Just
fair.
The stream. So for $3, you can get the super cute floral crown, which I like that they preview it on the Viera and the Rothgar to be like, hey guys, you can actually wear this on those characters. And it's
That's a good
valuable.
point. I didn't even think about that
You don't-
because
Yeah.
we all know that neither of them can wear like anything.
Anything.
The pains of being a Viera.
I can't not be a Viera. She has my nose and my big curly hair. Like that's
Right.
that's me.
I literally said to her before stream, I was like, just so you know, your character looks like just like you, and I love it. So I think she nailed it.
Oh, thank you. A little intentional.
That
It was-
looks delicious.
Also, by the way, I made my character look like me because another player said, "Oh my god, Avi, she has your nose. You have to make it look like you because your nose is in game." So that's how that whole thing started. So this is the chirashi zushi soup, which looks kind of like a shrimp kind of ramen kind of dish. It's $5 on the Mog Station housing item. Yeah, that's it. These are previous event items, which I appreciate that they offer them, but it also makes me kind of sad because you lose the exclusivity that you had of being like, I was there first. So,
You get it for a year,
yeah,
I guess.
I'm special for a year. And next are the sushi balls, which are $5. It's another housing item, food item. I do have to say that if you don't follow A Realm Reborn on Instagram or YouTube, you should, because she actually just made the sushi balls, and they're really, really, really cute. She's like,
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that I need to follow?
A Recipe Reborn.
Pardon me while I go follow this really quick.
She actually, oh my gosh, she made a Moogle little sushi ball, and it's so cute. And she made a little scree, little snake, and she made like they're just all so good, you guys. Like I am a perfectionist baker cook person, so when I see someone cooking and making these sort of foods that I'm like, oh my gosh, you did an amazing job. Like she legit does an amazing job. So you should follow her if you aren't already. It is now. Thank you, Raze, for sharing that in chat.
Oh my gosh, these look amazing.
Okay, we're podcasting right now.
I'm sorry.
No, I
but
get it. That knew what you were doing because I would have done the same thing.
connected, but it's amazing.
She's
Just-
really great.
That was a good shout out, by the way. Good shout out.
All right, so now we're going to move on. We talked about the Developer Diary Series Part 1 last week. Did you happen to watch that, Rose?
I did.
Yay! Did you watch Part 2?
I did.
Yay! I didn't even tell you to.
I know, but it's like you sent me the notes or something, and I was like, oh, I forgot I was going to watch that.
Oh,
And I
you're
was
like the
"Thanks."
girl who does her homework.
Sometimes.
Right?
I barely had time. But luckily, guys, they're only like 9 or 10 minutes long.
And they're really cute.
Definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
I love it. But I love seeing like the progression of how things came to be and like the thought process behind them and like the what's it called? The inspiration behind them, which is what was really cool about like episode 2 or the current one.
Yeah,
It's
you got
like,
to see a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of the
we went to this place or that place and loved it.
So this was released on Thursday, and it's titled Forging the First. And this video explores the creation of Norvrant. Am I pronouncing that wrong? I feel like it's like Norvrant. Like it needs to be very like I don't know.
I know I'm over here saying Norvrant or something like
I don't
that.
know.
so.
I like a long A, I think. Like
Probably because like I think of like Rembrandt and like
makes sense.
that's the art background, I think.
I get
for
it.
me.
I think also I think I was a Persian linguist before, and they really like long ah sound, and I just really dug the Persian ah, Norvra.
But long ahs they sound great. So
love
I don't
them.
blame you.
Yeah, like I added to that's why I'm Avi and not Avi. I am Avi, guys. All right.
So is it Avi Ayel
It-
or Avi Ayel?
It's Avi Ale. It's actually based off of a character in the Wheel of Time series whose name was Avienda Ale. And then I had people telling me that my character didn't look like she should, which I don't think you should ever tell someone. And then super nerd moment, when I went to Comic-Con, I got to meet Brandon Sanderson, who's one of the authors of the series, and he told me that, yeah, we call her Avi. I was like, oh
Isn't that the best?
my God, it is.
Especially when you like read a book and you're like, oh, I was pronouncing it right in my head the whole time.
I actually went and asked him. I said, so how do you say her name? And then he said, and then we call her Avi. And I was like, I am shortening my name. Because, yep.
I love it.
I love it. Oh, yeah. All right. So this features interviews. Oh, thank you so much for subscribing, Allura For Real. You are wonderful. And this features interviews with Takeo Suzuki, who's the art team lead, Masato Shida, who's the background artist, and Arata Takahashi, who is the lead level designer. I feel like if I say their names faster, I pronounce them better. I don't know if that's true.
They sound right. They sound great.
Go with it.
They sound way better. I love that you said them with confidence. So sound way better than however I would stumble through them.
That is when I do not say my long A's. They do not get my long A's. I know that much. All right. Anything else you want to add about the second video?
Other than it was great to I think I said everything. I don't think I could even add to that. I was like, it was just awesome to see the creative process, really.
This is probably some of my favorite like YouTube content, I guess, that Square Enix for Final Fantasy XIV has put out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really love seeing like how things are made and the thought processes behind it, and it makes you feel it's like a more personal level. Like you feel like you get to know them a little bit more.
Yeah, it feels like they're, I don't know. It's like it's just a glimpse behind the curtain, and like, but without giving anything away, because it's like they kind of gave you a little bit of like background information of things that like are, or like who's working on things to come, because you know that there's things that are coming, but
Yes.
obviously not giving anything away. And I was thinking as we were going through it, I was like, man, can you imagine? Because some of the storyline and stuff, I was like, can you imagine being a part of the team and sitting on all this information for so long, and you just want to like share it with everybody? I'm like, can you imagine what it would have been like for us to like know like that we were, what like being the warrior of darkness really meant, and like the whole, the opposite battle of like light and dark.
I feel like you would
can't
like
even
surround
imagine
yourself
sitting on that cool idea and not like sharing it with everybody before it was finished. I'd go insane.
I feel like I would be like staying away from social media and then hanging out with the majority of my friends who don't really game, and I'm like, you guys, I just did this really cool thing, and like, oh no,
Right?
Avi's going off again. I'm like, but I can tell you because you don't get it.
Great. That sounds great, Avi.
Awesome.
Maybe I'll play it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Look at this great glamour. Yeah, you dressed up your doll. That's awesome.
I will say the couple of people that I've explained like Shadowbringers to, that obviously don't game, and I know they're never going to, but I'll start to explain like what happens and kind of like how we got to where we're at. And they're just like, I'm sorry, this is a video game and not a movie.
Yes.
And I'm like, exactly. I'm like, I feel like I'm watching mini movies every patch, and it's amazing.
Yes, that's the reason I play video games generally. Is just like, I want the story, I want the feels, I want the connection to the characters, I want to be part of it. It's like one level deeper. It's almost like a book.
Right.
I love
And
it.
and like to link it back to obviously this week's episode of it is for the developer diary. The atmosphere does they did such a great job with Shadowbringers of like giving you that like that overbearing like
Yes, that's what I
light.
was thinking of. That's exactly like when we were talking, then we got distracted. But the how they talked about wanting to make it like the permanent light, but also feel heavy.
Yes,
I
was like,
love that. You so did that. Oh my god, I never noticed that, but you accomplished that. And then like seeing that they used the photos that they took themselves, and just it's really worth watching if you guys haven't watched it yet. Like, definitely. And hopefully it'll be in the show notes, but I'm writing the show notes for the link for that. So we'll see if that happens. I'm just gonna be honest. We usually try to link everything in the show notes that we talk about. So we will try. It's gonna happen. We'll see. All right. Moving on. So our super fun special site with the updates for the web for Final Fantasy, because words are hard, has been updated for patch 5.2. And I've got some more super fun images for you guys as well. Just try to images. So I didn't share all of them. There's more. This has to do with in patch 5.21, we're getting the Ishgardian restoration. Upgrades, updates, new things. And the text that they added says, under the watchful eye of Francel del Halianarte, maybe, The reconstruction of the firmament enters its second phase, which shall see works carried out on the residential corridor. Boop, 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 boop. I wish I had like a cheer sound effect for you guys. Here.
Sure, that one. That's great.
It's a cheery sound, right? Cheery mo.
It's cheery.
Once thumbing with life, the area has long lain in silent ruin, but the combined efforts of artisans from near and far, it shall rise from the rubble once more to welcome Ishgardians home. So that's awesome. Sounds like housing's coming soon.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Get ready for that rush.
And then we got a cute little preview image of the Kupo of Fortune. Which are
Do we know anything about this?
It's a scratcher card game. Even though it looks like a giant board game. Yes, I love those. I always get one in my stocking for Christmas.
I love it.
Oh, Chili says, don't get hyped. It's probably to give houses for the workers that are working on the restoration. Chili, don't be a buzzkill. Go get you some pink wine. We also get a preview image of Diadem, where we've got some botanists diligently was the word that was trying to come out of my mouth, gathering things. And then the next image, which I think is actually really, really cool, and it's a gatherer with a big ass gun. And so I think this is that, like, you kind of build up the gauge when you're in Diadem, and so if something attacks you or whatever, you get to use this super awesome, like, ray gun thing. And I think that would be kind of fun, and it's a cool element to add to gathering. So, I don't know. That looks cool to you? Anything? And
Sounds like a good theory to me.
Yeah, that was me. I was like, you never see a botanist with a big ass gun on her shoulder, like.
Or maybe it's just to, like, clear all the trees.
We're going just full Ferngully on them, and we're just gonna shove them all down at once.
Yeah, right. I need this whole section. I need lots of lumber.
Yep. All right. And finally, the cutest Lalafell mount of all time. Yeah, it's the little sheep. It's a little sheep mount, you guys. It's
But
adorable.
how is it gonna fly? They make everything fly now, right?
It's honestly, if they could make it jump on a cloud to a cloud like the cloud would disappear and reappear, which they won't, but that would make me so happy.
Oh my gosh, that's a brilliant idea.
Because they're just so fluffy.
I would love that.
That would be. I just wish it's not. I hope it's not just like, or even if it just runs, which it probably will just run. If like clouds like came off its legs or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I could see it being something like Fat Cat and just, or like Wiggly Legs.
Okay, it'd be kind of funny if the legs just kind of like moved really, really fast.
or like Gubu-esque arms, just.
I kind of think of like a T-Rex trying to like do something, like do charades.
Yeah.
As long as the legs move really fast compared to the speed of the body, I'm okay with that. Again, I don't know, but they have been adding more like humor into the game when like talking to NPCs and stuff. So maybe they'll start adding more humor into like animations for mounts. I don't know.
Maybe.
I like that idea. All right, and so in patch 5.25, we get the continuation of the Resistance weapon quests, which is Save the Queen, Blades of Gunhilder, which reads, felt so serious. For years, Baja, home of the Hrothgar, are we gonna see a Lady Hrothgar? Is that what this means? We're going to the homeland of the Hrothgars? I want to see a Lady Hrothgar, because this has been like teased for a bit. Has remained at the mercy of the Garlean ruins, but the empire has fallen into disarray, and the people of Doma and Alamigo have risen up to challenge their authority. The Bojans, while heartened at this news, yet lack the means to join the rebellion. To that end, they seek a standard under which their people may gather, a weapon of legend. Which means relic weapons. So we got a little picture of Kirito, is it Kirito? Yeah, Kirito. No. My God, did I just do a freaking... Yes, I did. Yep. You can all judge me now. Yugiri anime. Yeah, everyone's like, nope, that was wrong. and a Rothgar that we are unfamiliar with. Judging intensifies. Go ahead, guys.
It was really cute. It was really cute. It was Roz level flub.
like number 3 or 4.
This is probably why we get along so well.
It was immediate. It was quite immediate, you guys. Words happened.
Hey, you know what? At least you didn't continue with said wrong name and as if it was fact.
But no, what's great is I wrote it down. This is written down, and I didn't like question it or anything.
When
I
you
said
really
it,
did.
yeah, and then I said out loud, I'm like, oh, yeah, no,
that
that's wrong.
doesn't sound right.
That's so wrong. As soon as I say it out loud.
You're thinking of Kian, by the way.
Yeah, he's Kirito now. Sorry, guys.
It'd be really cool if Kirito came to 14. Just saying.
Yeah, nope. Every server has multiple Kiritos. That is not a lie,
that is a complete fact, I'm sure.
Yes, it would not be a Final Fantasy MMO if that was not true. And finally, we have an image of everyone's favorite drunk crafter, Geralt, however you want to say his name, and the chick who took a long time to figure out what her name was. Like, Discord was even, like, sleeping on this one. Thank you to KK McLeod for Mikoto. She's the little blonde Aura from Charlea, and she's part of the Evilise storyline. She's, like, the specialty on the, like, the stones and everything like that. I remembered her face, but not her name, and I felt like a jerk. Oh,
She's pretty.
She's pretty. Don't uninstall. All right, so that was all the news and notes. There's only a few flubs in there. Remember, guys, I'm normally the rose in this situation.
Oh no, there can't be 2 of me.
There's 2 of you, and it's just this is the podcast that ensues. Have you completed?
Knock on wood that the podcast stays up.
Please, I did remember to hit the record button, so that right there is already good. We're did that part. It's the most important bit. Because it is International Women's Day, and it's Women's Month, and it's Little Ladies Day. Did you happen to do the Little Ladies Day content?
I did. I haven't done the extra quests yet or the extra cutscenes or anything like that, but I always love Little Ladies Day. It's always so sweet and wholesome, and yeah.
It was the first seasonal event I ever did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So in 2.0, Little Ladies Day was the first seasonal event I ever did, so it always holds like a special place for me because I just remember like it was when we had to build the little doll minion, the little princess lady that followed you around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was so sad. That was actually the first thing that I was really mad when that was on the Mog Station because she meant so much to me and I felt like I worked so hard to create her that I was like, and you're just giving it to them? Like, they didn't earn that. But I definitely like I love Little Ladies Day for that. This particular one felt kind of like they stole elements from the previous like winter holiday. The words are now Christmas event is what I want to say. The
not Heaven's Turn.
Oh, okay. You make me feel better that you didn't get it on the first try.
What's it called, guys?
Starlight. Thank you, Chili.
Yeah, Starlight.
Starlight Celebration. You all know I'm not good with names of things. Because, which I get, they brought in the orphanage and it's hard to not make like sad children happy in different ways. But it did feel kind of recycled, for lack of a better, at least.
I could see that. I could understand that.
Yeah, so it did kind of feel, not that that's negative. I mean, it was still cute. It was sweet, but it felt like a quest I had done before. And I do have to say the side quests, the ones at the end, I didn't do all of them, but the esthetician one made me happy. That one was pretty cute. And
now I'm gonna have to go and do those.
Yeah, like I was like, normally I don't do all of these, but you are making me at least want to see a few of these. So they're cute. They're cute. What did you think of the rewards? We got the flowers in the hair and the monocle.
I love the flowers in the hair. I'm always all for floral things. So I'm good with that, although I couldn't find a good dye color to work with my bun that I liked. There. That's a whole other thing.
Yep.
Monocle. Words on this monocle. Okay.
Ooh, yes.
In doing the story, this is my one thing, was like, so he was wearing glasses. And so what? Is he
He just only gets to see all the one eye.
Is he just gonna forego being able to see to make whoever happy? That was like the one thing that bothered me. Is like, so you can't see, and I
Only
like,
out of one
as
eye
I
though.
was doing this,
Because
like I always
monocles
do
were
this on
prescription. They were originally like it was to help you magnify, but the other eye is just fucked.
right. So it's just I mean, I remember like I kept cracking jokes about it because I mean, obviously I do all this stuff live every time, so it's just like. I remember making a big stink about it. I was just like everything that like whatever the other characters would say to him is just like, while you can't see or whatever. Like I'm just like you can't see what's happening right now, and it bothered me. But I mean, as a glamour item, like I think it'd be cool if you like that kind of aesthetic. It's not personally for me. I'm not all about like monocles. I'll put on glasses from time to time, but I like my character's face unobscured if I can help it. If I put anything on, it's usually like flowers or the Moogle cap, which I can't as a Vera or something like that. So
I'm the same, and I actually thought the exact same thing. I'm glad that I wasn't the only one going, but he has glasses. That's not like a replacement for, like, they should have given him 2 monocles or something, and like then he just had to hold them with his like eyebrows, I guess, like those I don't know.
Well, they had like, didn't they have like a bridge? They had like a bridge for his nose. Like it was like half like glasses. It was like it wasn't like a true monocle. It was kind of.
And then the part that like there's like a part that kind of came up on the side, and it looked like it would be like for an arm to connect to, but it came up in like the wrong spot of his face. And I just thought the whole monocle was kind of odd. I felt like it was just like a cop out to be like, well, we're giving the ladies flowers, so we got to give the guys something for their head.
Yeah, but I mean, can the males wear the flowers? Wouldn't they look fabulous with the flowers?
I hope they can, because the women can wear the monocles, and so you can't be like, this is only ladies and that is only dudes. Like that would be kind of not cool. And Chili even comments in chat that it looks a lot like the one from the Butler set already, and the men can wear the flowers. I thought they could, because that would have been a weird dynamic. I do think it's about time we got a dyeable like flower pin.
The only other flower pin that I have, or like I think just the one I have, was from like PvP from like last season.
Or
whatever.
Makai.
And I love it.
Yep.
But it's healer only. Luckily I'm healer.
Me too.
But
it's not as good as it was on my Mikote. On my Mikote it went around her ear. It was so cute. It like went around her ear, and now it's like this cute little ring of flowers on my bunny that's like on the side of her head. Not as cute. But that
my only other gripe about Bunny is like when we have that link pearl that we're talking to.
Touch the side of my head.
Can I just touch here? Like it's fine if you don't touch like right next to your ear. All right, girl.
Well,
like you can touch your temple. It's fine. But okay.
Nope, fully there. So you guys, I apologize.
The butterfly pin too was pretty.
I feel like I basically just like scheduled a person to be on the podcast with me who's like 2 Avis in one episode.
It's gonna be a fun episode, okay?
It's magical. You love it. It's okay.
By the way, if you're not following She Heals I Tank, you should, because Avi is one of a pair of amazing people.
And so is Rose of her own
If you love me, I know that you'll already love me. So
vice versa. But just still like, it's only been 3 derails, Avi. We're fine. We're fine. It's okay.
That way.
We're not at the end yet. You got like 6 more to go. It's fine.
Watch this be the highest rated shit episode.
No, I'd feel so bad. People just want like Avi to like make duplicates of herself with Rose. See how this is. 6 more hours. Oh God, Mocha Jones, honey. Okay, thank you for linking that, Chili. Rose is. Oh, you can just do that.
Side note for like my friends in chat.
Yes.
I am sitting next to Avi, by the way. This was the character we're hanging out in Gilgamesh. This was the character that I made blindfolded. This little Lalafell I made legit blindfolded.
I love that.
Like a year ago on Gilgamesh, because I had moved my main off of Gilgamesh when like the whole server split happened.
Mhm.
So I'm over on Curl and Crystal. And so I was like, okay, I need a replacement over here because I want to do things with people on like all the different servers.
Mhm.
So this is the character. And
But
isn't she
the best part was when we saw each other, we were so excited, and she laughed, and she's like, "Oh my god!"
cute? Yeah, I forgot what my character's voice sounded like. I was like, oh gosh, that's what my laugh sounds like.
It's like, I don't
no.
have headphones on. You're fine. You're fine. But it was cute because it was totally something I would have done. Like, oh, so I really wish that any game that had character creation gave you like a 5-minute free pass to see that character in the actual game world.
Ooh, what a good idea.
Just 5 minutes, like, and then come back, because I don't know if you played Dragon Age Inquisition, but you got some crazy most of looking little characters after you spent 2 hours trying to create them, and then you don't have a save spot. You come in and you're like, I look like someone slapped my face with a freaking hockey stick. So, yeah, 5 minutes, please. Game developers, if you're listening, which I doubt.
Or
please.
like you see it in like there are one of my only gripes too about like when doing the main scenario is like the unflattering light in certain scenes, and you're like, oh my gosh, my character looks hideous right now. Why would you do this to me? And it's like top down, like I don't want it. I don't want it.
Well, and I'm a fan of the blush because I like blush. I call it a pale girl thing. And the finding the, how much I probably spent like 20,000 gil with the esthetician just trying to get the blush that actually looked good in game versus the blush that looked good in the freaking esthetician. Like, which actually,
don't blame you.
This is leading us to a conversation about glamours, so this is actually totally on point with the continuing of conversation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we kind of skipped over some stuff, I think.
I think we're running long. It's okay. I'm not a stickler. Fine. Unless you want to talk about any of that. Do you want to talk about that?
I mean, all I've done what we were supposed to be talking about right now
I'm
is
the boss of this. I wrote this, so
I know.
Supposed to is very loose.
was our favorite content from 5.2. I have not done Cinder Drift, and I haven't even completed story, which I mean we weren't gonna say spoilers anyway. I did enjoy the Eden story. I really loved Gaia.
I did too.
I love their dynamic. I was like, oh my gosh, these are like I can't. It was everything. It was like it was it. I couldn't even. And ocean fishing is just a blast. Like if even I know people who like hate fishing.
Yep.
And it has turned them to be like, okay, I can do this. Like,
I legit never equipped it a fishing rod. Like people in the podcast didn't believe me until I've been leveling my fisher like all through Grand Company turn-ins. Like that's how I craft. That is the true crafting game. And gathering. I gather sometimes, just not fishing. And I had to go to the level 1 quest before I could do ocean fishing.
It's great.
Oh, I'm not alone. Thank you.
Vea, I think, hit 80 just the other day too. Just it's so fast.
It's so fast.
Like, I mean, and not even doing it every boat either. Like, even just doing it like 1 or 2 boats a day.
Yeah.
If that, like, it's so fast and it's so much fun because you're just like, I'm literally just hitting a button or 2 buttons because I gotta like cast and reel it back in. But I mean, you're not gonna you're probably not gonna get one of the achievement items, but you're gonna get a crap ton of XP.
So there are 2 things that have actually been keeping me from ocean fishing just a little bit. One, there are fishing abilities that you actually have to do the fishing quests to unlock.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are certain things that I don't remember what they're called, but they're abilities that are important to the ocean fishing stuff that I have to go back and actually
hooking.
Yeah, that I have to go back and actually do the fishing quests to do. And so that's like kind of keeping me off. And the second thing is I'm actually like completely and utterly irrationally afraid of sharks. And not like the cute little baby shark minion, but that mount, I don't want it. I'm gonna actively not get 10,000 points because I don't want it.
But don't you want the title that comes at like, what is it, 15,000 or
Not
something
worth it.
like that?
Not worth it. I don't.
Girl,
want-
you don't gotta pick up that shark.
But then if the next thing that comes out I gotta go talk to Jonathan, and then he's gonna be like, oh, here's this awesome mount, and I'll be like,
But they do it differently now, where he isn't like, here's all the things you got. It's like you literally like click on it and like, okay, I want to
Oh.
redeem this now, redeem that now. So it is different now in
Okay.
that you're not just being dumped all this like stuff that you don't want. You can actually pick and choose what you want to grab.
Oh.
So like if you were just like, I really don't want that mount, then just don't touch
Chat like
it.
doesn't get it. Like, you guys don't understand. I honestly am surprised that no one has been chasing me around on this mount when they see me in game. Like, I really I don't even like killing them in game. I don't like these sharks like at all. Like,
I was
irrational.
actually a pleasant surprise. I don't know when they made that change, because I remember when you'd go to him and then you got to sit there for like 10 minutes if you haven't gone there in a while, and he would like, oh, and then you did this.
I'm glad
Great.
you told me. I had no idea. So Greenleaf minute number 2.
Greenleaf minute number 2. Well, actually, it's not even number 2. It's like in conjunction with the first
Yeah.
one, because it's like, go talk to this dude. It's like, go talk to this dude and then pick the thing that you want, because it's just
awesome.
like it's sectioned off by whatever type of thing it is.
That's
so
so
it'd be
much better.
under, I think, gathering.
Yeah.
So, and then you just pick the things you want. And there were a couple things I hadn't picked up that I had
Always.
like unlocked a while ago, and I was like, oh. And you could
Always.
try things on, like, oh, I
Oh.
really didn't want that crown.
Now it's forever there.
And
Thanks.
now it's forever taking a spot in my inventory. I mean, I want it, but I'm not going to do anything with it.
Right? Like, please just let me put it in the damn armoire so that I never have to see it again, because everyone
Yeah,
forgets.
You
about
have
the
to
armoire.
actively click it now. So,
Okay, that's
which is
cool.
really nice.
Yeah, because I'm just used to like not talking to him forever, and then like it's like that friend that you really like but you don't want to see very often, and then you see them and you're like, oh god, I know it's gonna be like 4 hours.
Yeah. Let me go get another glass of wine.
Yeah, so I gotta prep for this conversation. It'll be fine.
Let me clear my schedule.
All right, I actually agree with you, and so like talking about like the Eden story and everything that happened with Gaia and Reen, I also have really loved the fan response to that. Like
Mhm.
the images and like the short stories and just everything that's kind of come out from that. I've liked even seeing like the swaps where people like put Reen's outfit on Gaia and Gaia's on Reen. Yeah, like there's just been some really cute stuff.
The one standout that I saw, because I'm constantly obviously seeing artwork and stuff, which I love seeing people's fan art.
Mhm.
My favorite one that I've seen there was someone who drew Gaia and she's putting lipstick on Reen.
I haven't seen
And I was
that
like,
one.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the best. And it sums everything up perfectly.
Yes,
And it's
yes.
just,
Oh,
my
I need
heart
to go
was like so
You have to
full.
send me that one later. I need to see that one.
I'll find it.
Yes,
I'll
please
find
do.
it.
Because yeah,
Hopefully.
they're so different, because I feel like a lot of times you do have those friendships with people where you're like, you have this one element that you're so alike on, but then all these other things that you're very different on. And so you like bring that to each other. And I really think that's what was so great about those two characters, which I don't know if you guys like, a lot of people kind of just focused on the differences, but there are so many things that the two of them are dealing with that are the same.
Oh yeah.
And the differences are what, like, it's friendship. And I love that. I just thought that was really great.
You don't have to be exactly like your friends, guys.
It's better when you're not. Oh no,
Oh, yeah.
Pyroxene just said I hate them both. I'm so sorry. You're allowed.
It's okay to be wrong.
You're allowed.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm like,
I'm
it's
just
okay.
kidding. I
And
love
she's
you.
like, well, screw your face, Kupo.
That was so not a Roz comment. What have you done?
Do you like how I
Am I
threw in my
blushing?
Kupo
I
curse
feel
word?
like
I
I'm
thought that was
blushing.
good.
I just want to embrace my friends. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I love
Both
you.
are annoying. I will say, I feel like Gaia is a little young for lip injections.
Mm.
But, that was my only gripe about her. But, I mean, there are people who are, like, naturally got full lips
So
or whatever.
I was okay with the big lips. And people, like, a lot of people complain about the big lips. What actually bothered me was, like, where the lip met the skin.
Mm.
And there was, like, this weird fuzziness to like the graphic. And I felt like almost if they had just left that line sharp, it would have been less, I don't know, I wouldn't have focused on it so much.
Yeah.
Because there was just this weird dynamic where in between the lip, and it was almost like her lipstick had just kind of been smudged on her lip a little bit. And the color was just off a bit, and they didn't do the liner. I don't know. Like, I focused on that, and I was like, either she just got injections and her like skin is still pink. And so it's like something's happening, and I just am not okay with the area between the lip and the skin.
Right.
That was, that was where I focused.
I like that lip color though.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, can I
would
do
look
that?
like death. I would look like death. People would be like, "Are you sick? Are you dying, Avi? You're so pale, and now your lips are just like black." I don't know. Own it. I'll do it on stream maybe. Like, I also think I'm wearing a lot of eye makeup. I'm one of those people, I think I put a lot on, and everyone's like, "Oh, I can't really see it." Oh, all right. We're just gonna amp this up.
Yep.
All right. Speaking of glamours or makeup, that was a bad segue.
Looking beautiful
There you
or
go.
whatever. Focusing on our aesthetics. There we go.
Prettiness. So I am a big fan of glamour, and if you are part of the She Heals I Tank Discord, you know we have a glamour channel, and people will actually like post their glamours and ask for tips or ideas and things, and then when I post it in the Discord, not that actual channel, I said, "Hey, I'm doing this episode without Pete. Is there anything in particular you would like me to talk to?" And I had a couple people actually said glamour pointers. So I thought that was kind of a fun idea because Pete has been wearing the same glamour since like 2.0. So, which I even had to create this said same glamour in a glamour plate so he could continue to reapply it for him. So that, yeah.
You're so sweet.
You know, I want my boo to look horrible.
That's so a wife thing to do.
Right? Here, babe, just move. I'll just do it for you. It's okay. It's okay. So I was actually looking online, and I was trying I was Googling, I was trying to see like if there was any website that like gave glamour pointers and stuff. And there's really not a lot written about this. And I think it's because glamoring is obviously very personal, and it's about what you like and what you want to do. And so when I was looking at that and kind of thinking about that, I wanted to think about what I personally think helps me make a good glamour, and then also what I notice in another person when they think they make a good glamour. Veggie, I don't have a picture of his glamour on me, but if you look at any of our videos, it's there. Any one of them.
Any of them.
Any of them. It doesn't change. I like to call him Captain Broccoli because of the hair. So first of all, the first thing I thought of, so if you're creating a new glamour for a character, I think you should focus on one major theme for that glamour. And that can mean multiple things, like focus on a color, like my husband. Focus on a particular aesthetic that you're trying to achieve, whether you're trying to like recreate like a cosplay character or something like that. Like the effort is that you're focusing on that look, or maybe you find like a piece that you really like, a chess piece you really, really like. Make sure that everything that you're using in that glamour kind of supports that piece. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but that was, don't go, unless your intent is to go over the top, don't go over the top. It's kind of like they say for women, like when you're getting dressed, you either wear a short skirt or a low cut top. You don't wear both. You wear a low cut top and you cover the bottom, or a short skirt and you cover the top. It's like wearing a bright lipstick and a neutral eye, or a smoky eye and a neutral lip. Right? That makes sense.
I couldn't have said it any better.
Okay. I was like, that's kind of like you just, because otherwise the word used is trashy. Like it's too far. So
it's too much, too over the top, too extra.
Yes. Unless you want to be too extra.
Well, it's not even just that too, is like it's distracting in that you don't know where to look. So the point of obviously accentuating one asset or the other, no pun intended,
one ASEAN or the other. No, sorry.
is that you don't want, like, if you're trying to say accentuate your eyes or something like that, if you've got a bold lip on top of it, then you're kind of defeating the purpose. Yep. You're taking away from it, and you've got too many competing things. So it's like people don't really know where to look. they're not gonna pay as close attention to the thing that you're trying to show off.
Right.
So
One thing I actually say, and I don't know, I've actually thought about how to apply this in game. Maybe it would be like taking a screenshot, but like in life, when you're trying a new look out, I find that if you take a picture of yourself and then look at the picture, you almost get like that degree of separation where you can see how other people would see you or see your character. So maybe like put a glamour together, take a screenshot, then go and look at that screenshot, and you're kind of separating yourself, and then see perhaps what other people would see in it. Kind of a different way to go about it.
good. That's a good tip.
That's honestly, if you're ever going bathing suit shopping, that is the best tip I can ever give, is take a picture of yourself, because the one you feel good in may not be the one you look good in.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've had a couple of times where I'm just like, what was I thinking?
The one that I was like, oh no, I took a picture. I was like, God damn, okay. Like you don't know until you like take an outside perspective. Or have a friend that you can send those pictures to and be like, okay, boo, I need an honest opinion. And don't let it be your husband, who does not even tell you if your makeup is running under your eyes. It needs to be someone who would tell you if there's something in your teeth. You got to trust the person.
I think that's why my husband and I work so well, though. It's like if I'm like, okay, 100% honest opinion. I mean, most of the time he's gonna give me that honest opinion anyway, because it's just like that's just how our relationship is. It's like we're gonna tell the other person the honest truth regardless of whether they want to hear it or not. So it's just like we that's just how we function.
Aw.
But I mean, there's a lot of people who are out there that are like, you're obviously very sensitive to your partner's feelings. You don't want to hurt them. And so you might kind of like overlook, like, girl, you're wearing a little too much eyeliner today.
Or you marry
Like-
a completely oblivious person like my husband, who just thinks you look wonderful and tells you, you're like, bitch, I got spinach in my teeth. How did you not see that? Just doesn't see it. So have a backup person just in case you marry that guy or girl or person or whoever.
I'll be your backup person, Avi.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I appreciate that. So my next tip was to, so once you've got your idea kind of put together, what you want to focus on, then it's to pay attention to the details, because the details are what really, kind of like in housing, like when you're decorating a house, it's like the details are what really make things kind of come together. And whether that's like the color of the belt repeating in the color of the shoes and the color of the nails, or having your hair be complementary to your outfit, or maybe having a minion that even matches your outfit. Like it's about paying attention to the subtleties through in it, and not having the elements fight one another. So yeah. Any thoughts, Eds? Yeah.
I do that like all the time. I always end up focusing on like one piece. Like that's where I start. I'm like, man, I love this jacket.
Yes.
And then you find out that like there's a color that doesn't change or something.
Yes.
That's the worst. So it's like, oh, I love this jacket with like the scholar whatever skirt. But of course, you can't change this color
Nope.
of like the stripes.
There's this
Okay,
bright
great. Now
orange
I'm
stripe.
Dye something orange, and it becomes a thing. But you figure out how to finagle the different elements to be like, okay, I don't have to make my boots bright orange. I can make my hair accessory orange or something like that, and like it'll tie itself together, because you usually don't want, like, if you can help it, unless you're going for that look, because I mean, some people are like, I'm gonna dye my whole entire character green,
Like my husband.
or like I'm gonna go for the nude look.
Yeah, like KK. But I do have to say, sometimes like those glamours that have that weird color force you to really think outside the box, and like sometimes you might even come out with your like a better glamour for it.
Yeah,
like you have to really try.
I find that if I have too many of like the same color close to each other, like it's not usually as successful as like, okay, I'm just gonna highlight this with like my nails and like a cool, like the whatever, like the flower, I'm gonna color the flower to be the orange, and like it'll all like work together that way, and it's not quite so in your face. My jacket is now orange to match the one thing I couldn't change.
Right.
It like works that way.
And all of these things that we're talking about, like you layer on top of each other. Like if you're like for and again, it's all very personal, which I said at Glamorous. I don't want anyone to feel bad because they don't agree with anything we're saying or anything like that. Like it's very personal. This is just Rose and I, who are essentially the same person's opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Glamours. Which, by the way, I do have to point out that she and I have actually never spoken about Glamours before.
No.
So...
That's how you know we're like the same person. It's like we're like 1,000,000% on the same page. I know what you're thinking.
Yes, we're right there. It's okay.
Yeah.
So, speaking of like those the nails and the flowers and the pieces like that, like so those are staple pieces that we're kind of talking about. So just like IRL, that where a white t-shirt is essential or a good pair of jeans, you need to find those pieces in game that complement those more extravagant or fun pieces. So don't downplay any of those pieces that are really simple or boring, because you can use them to really offset other pieces. And I think it's super important. Have a good arsenal of stuff to choose from. Yeah, it's kind of a simple. I don't know if you can add more to that. It's very boring.
No, I don't got nothing to add. It was well put.
And the thing that my husband makes fun of me for is I almost have an entire retainer dedicated to dyes.
Ooh, dyes even.
Yes, because I hate when I'm at the glamour dresser and I want to use a particular dye and I don't have it within the inn. And I really hate that they don't have a vendor in there or something in there for me to acquire more dyes. So you have to have them on your retainer or yourself to figure stuff out. So it's very annoying.
It's a good idea, because that always drives me insane.
It drives me so insane. So speaking of, the reason it drives you insane is because dye kind of comes into four really general categories. So you can either buy them from a merchant, you can craft them yourself, or someone who actually crafts. You can get them from beast tribes, or you can buy them from the Mog Station. So the ones that come from beast tribes can get really expensive on the market board. So those are the beast tribes I would recommend putting effort into leveling, at least until you can buy those dyes. They're giving you... Veggie just said, don't give Roz ideas. She already has horrible inventory management.
It's true. It's true.
I do too. It's okay.
It's very true.
It's okay. I'm like, I might need this someday. That was turned in 2 patches ago. Shut up.
I'm slowly fixing my inventory problem, okay?
There might be something I want to buy with it later that will like give me a glamour piece for a character that will work perfectly. So why am I going to get rid of those springs?
Yeah, right? Shut up. It's like you know me.
I just made myself get rid of some of those, the Eden and the Omega and so yeah, I get it.
I should.
I finally was like, you know what? I can almost solo those at this point. I need to just not keep that in my inventory.
Yeah. Just get rid of all of the,
get rid of it.
What is it? The Shiva shards.
Oh my god, yes. That's exactly what I got rid of. That's exactly. Oh, I beat that boss twice. I'm not gonna farm it for the mount. I need 97 more of those. Why am I taking up an inventory slot with that?
You're not gonna farm it for the mount? It takes 2 seconds.
Not 97 times. I
Fair.
have the Shiva mount. I mean, like the other ones, the like dragon ones.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Sure.
Those the newer ones. But I still had some of the older ones that I already had the mount, but I still had the little, thing.
The trinkets.
Yes. Anyways, that's originally, yes, chat's like, that's what the saddlebags are for until your saddlebags get full.
My saddlebags are filled with all of the like like the confetti and like fun things, and then the other half is all like current materia that I'm never gonna use. So it's my saddlebags are full.
But you can't use anything out of the saddlebags, and that makes me mad. I'm like, I want to use this confetti. Well, fuck, I have to move it, and then I have to...
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
But that's because I'm like, well, I don't want to have this on me, but I don't want to like have to go back to...
I don't want to get rid of it.
Right. I don't have to go to my retainer every single time.
Yep, that's true.
Do I want to throw confetti in Avi? Yes, I do. But I need it nearby.
I'm very picky about my confettis and things. I think like the peach petal, like that's probably my favorite confetti. And so I just like will hoard one type of confetti that I love. I've kind of just gotten picky. I had to make myself get picky on it.
I think I kept like the flower blossom one, or not like the ones that like have like the flower look, but like the petals.
Yes,
Like I think
one.
that's my favorite.
That's my favorite. I love that. Like the just
is it like the
petals.
peach blossom or
Yes,
something
like the wedding one that you get from like I love that, and the bubbles.
love it.
Oh, and the bubbles. Okay, I just
bubbles. Okay,
these little heart bubbles. They're so cute. Okay. Anyways, my other tip is be that person who tries on everything. If you're in a dungeon and something drops, before you pass on it, try it on.
I don't even do that. I see someone running by like, what are they wearing?
Or that. Oh yeah, I'm obsessive with that. So I play ESO with Hyperpixie, and that is the biggest thing I hate the most is I cannot try anything on. So I awkwardly look at a person and then take a weird screenshot, and then I text it to Gore and go, "What's she wearing?" Like, tell me how to get that. Like, I cannot deal with not being able to inspect people. Yeah.
Ooh.
Also, if you see someone whose glamour you like, tell them. Like, I think it's really cool when someone will message me and say, "Hey, your glamour looks really cool." And so because that made me feel so good that someone did that to me, when I see one that has basically hit all these things that we've talked about where they like didn't overdo it, they focused on the colors and the details, I will send them a tell and be like, that is really original and I really like what you did there. And I think everyone seemed to really appreciate it when that happens. Oh yeah. You can also visit Gamer Escape to preview gear if you don't want to look at people, you feel awkward looking at them, or you don't want to come across the gear.
I forgot that was a thing.
Gamer Escape this is actually kind of a more a more new thing that they added where you can actually preview some of the gear. Not all of it is there, but a lot of it is there, and you can see what it looks like on the different races and the different sexes if you have a race that has a different sex available to you. I'm not bitter. Then
It's okay. My main's Avira too. I understand.
Yeah, it's not fair. I just want my different hairstyles that I've collected so hard back.
Yes, please.
Like, I really tried hard for all of those. There's a lot of effort involved. And some gil or gold, whatever.
MGP and gold and tears.
I'm deleting this next topic. Sorry, Pete. That was something he wanted us to talk about that I was like, I don't really want to talk about that. It's like, that sounded kind of negative, and I'm like, I think we're gonna be very happy and positive talking about glamours and fun. Any other glamour ideas or things or tips you thought of you want to add?
What's your favorite piece that you've used?
Oi. It is the Neza top. The female Neza top. It's a cash item. It is here. I'm gonna be a dork in game and equip it.
By the way, I like your glamour.
Pete crafted it for me. I have the new
Hang on, I'm gonna try it on real quick.
All right, I want to change. I have the new Dancer Amy Neo-ish Guardian top on right now. Let you try that on. Sorry, guys. Now you get to do the thing where we're
let's demonstrate.
It's so fun. All right, you good on the trying on so I can show you the other one?
Yeah, you're good.
So this is the Neza Ladies Togi is what it's called. And this is actually another one of my favorite glamours right now. And I like it because it's a short top with long sleeves. The long sleeves can be covered up with long gloves, so you can make it appear sleeveless. It's a level 1 piece. And the bottom of the shirt actually has a belt, and let me give you guys a better
very
look on
ornate.
It move versus shirt. It has this belt piece that makes whatever leg piece you're wearing look like it automatically belongs with your top. So that is by far, and it's dyeable. So that is by far my favorite item. It's a cash shop item. It's great. I've used it. I can show you actually. So that is it in one glamour, and I can show it to you in another glamour because I know I've used it.
You're like me. You've got it in multiple plates, huh?
Except that I'm on on Pete's computer, so Shineki, and I gotta equip my scholar. There we go. So this is it. No, why didn't that work? Oh, they made her an Arcanist. Stupid UI not on my husband's computer. All right. Why is this not working? Sorry, guys. I'm having tech. Oh my goodness. Scholar. Oh, I must have equipped the wrong weapon. This is awesome podcast conversation. There we go. Glamour. This is what happens when you let Avi. There we go. Okay. So you can see how if you're on the stream.
Ooh, look at those pants.
Oh my god, these pants. I farmed the hell out of some stuff for these pants. But yeah, so this is just a fun top that you can see it has like this is it dyed as well. White instead of black, and you can play with it so much. So that is by far my personal favorite piece that I've ever gotten.
I dig it. And I like the way your headband kind of like ties in with your red belt.
This is the details we're talking about. And then if you
The
actually look,
details.
the boots she's wearing, so
I
the
was just
Glamour
gonna say,
has
what shoes?
yeah, it does. The Glamour has gold accents, and the boots she's wearing have gold heels, and there's a slight pink cuff on the top, and the boots are dyed pink to match the slight cuff. So like
Minions.
all of the little and there's usually there's a minion that comes out. All the details.
My Moogle minions know I've got a boot obsession
Oh,
in game because there are so like I'm very particular about the boots I put on my character. They've always got to have like a certain type of heel or whatever because
Yep.
because a lot of them like I don't like the boots that like flip up at like the toe. I'm
Oh,
like,
no.
can we not
No.
please? Like
never.
who wears these?
Nope. Never.
So yeah, so I'm very particular. I've only got like 2 or 3 types of shoes that I put on like any glamour,
Oh,
and
then
it's
you
always
know.
like the same ones.
So the new Eden gear that came out, the healer shoes that are those super, super cute, adorable little platform sandals that have this weird element that makes your heel look like it grew longer. Did you notice that?
Ooh, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
Now I need to.
It bothered me. I was like, these are so cute, but why is her heel awkward? Like the skin has now become part of the wedge.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go and look.
Yeah, like I had a full-on issue with it. So, yeah, I'm big on footwear. I get you on the footwear. I originally had this idea that with my Viera, I was going to make a point that every glamour I used her, I was going to put her in heels to try to say kind of like lore specific with the foot. Yeah, I couldn't though because nope. Why are there 2 Avies? Sorry, Mocha. I warned you. Episode name Project Glamour.
I mean, at this point,
You know, it is actually like a project, like a glamour thing has been something I've wanted to work on for a while. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, people joke that it's the chewing game, but man, like if there's anything, if there's anything that's gonna get you to farm something half the time, it's getting the glamour. How many people ran the 24-man just to get like whatever top?
Oh. Well, and those pants you commented on that you liked, those are God, are they Circus Tower or something? They were like I farmed it so many. Like it was like 40 times. And they're not even dyeable pants, and they have them in a darker color for your caster, just so you know if you want them.
I'm gonna look.
Yeah, they're good. They're amazing. They're some of my favorite pants. Like it actually became like an ongoing joke in the FC because I was still farming for that pair of pants. But yeah.
Try them on.
Oh, they're amazing. And they're like kind of hippy dippy. They got the little flare at the bottom.
Yeah,
They're super fun.
I dig it.
They're super fun.
I dig it.
Also, remember when you guys try on items, there is a little button that lets you save a piece. So if you try on a piece that you like and you don't own it yet, you can click save, and then you can try on other pieces with that one and then save it and try to create an outfit based off of a piece you don't quite have yet.
That's a good tip. I do that all the time.
So do I. And you can dye the previews as well. So
You can what?
dye them. You can save the dye on the preview.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you can see what it looks like. And also, another thing I didn't mention, but I meant to, is when you're dyeing an item, say you're dyeing it Dalamud red, you dye the top Dalamud red and you love it and you want to dye the pants red to match, but the red doesn't look right, try out different red dyes because different dyes might create the same color aesthetic in-game on different pieces of gear. So you don't always know how that's going to kind of come across.
Oh, one more related tip too is like, so if there's something that you like, you always, I mean, there's plenty of people who obviously have like a specific color of something that they like. I like, for instance, Gremory is big on metallic red. Everything that Gremory wears is metallic red.
It's fun to have a theme.
Everything. So if you're that kind of person, It would probably behoove you to either if it's always going to be like the same kinds of pieces that you use, dye the piece before you put it in the glamour dresser, and that way you don't have to dye it every single time you change something to that. That way you've always got it.
You can
Like,
also
for
dye it in the
instance-
glamour dresser, but you have to dye it in the dresser and not on the glamour plate.
Yes,
And
that's
it'll
a good
save
tip
that.
too.
Yeah, it'll save that. Don't
Like,
put it
for
in the
instance,
armoire.
if you've got boots or whatever, like I have boots, but I only wear them when they're like black.
Yep.
So it's like I always keep them whatever black, or if I know that I'm almost always gonna have them black, but like say I put like the true black on there.
Oh,
That
yeah.
thing's not cheap, right?
Nope.
So I'm gonna put that on the actual boot, stick it in the dresser, or dye it in the dresser, and then if for whatever reason for a specific glamour I don't want it that way, you change it in the plate.
Yep.
And you don't affect like the base. So that way, when you make, glamour plate number 9, you still have your black boot or whatever.
I actually do that anytime I use an expensive piece of dye. I dye the actual item that color, and then that way if I want to dye it a cheaper color, I'll just dye it on the plate, and then I'll keep the item for the expensive dye, and it's a way to kind of keep money, even if it's not one of... I kind of had like a fixation on the metallic yellow for a while, because my character does like a pink kind of thing, and I thought the bright yellow metallic was kind of fun against that, and it gets expensive. So I still have items in there that are still dye metallic yellow, even though I may not be using them as often. So that's a great tip. Oh, Chili just says, I'll be honest, if I'm using jet black dye or Snow White, I spend the real money. That's because you like to support the Mog Station more than anybody else, honey. We love you. But yeah.
And you know what? That's great. Thank you for supporting the devs on this wonderful game.
It's very true. All right. So the next segment we do is called, I gotta do Pete's, it's a cowboy thing. The Community Roundup, partner. It was horrible. And so I wanted so Raze, if you have any content creators, streamers, anything like that you want to like shout out, this is the time. The one that I was going to talk about was Eorzea Collection, which is basically where people go and share their glamours, and you can vote on glamours that you like, and they can get featured. But it's also a great place for inspiration, and you can really see what works and what doesn't work for races, sexes, jobs, everything. So it's a really fun site. Check out.
I'll have to check them out. The only one that I mean, Aethernet Dream Team,
As you should.
I mean, there are so many wonderful casters in the directory as it is. Obviously Aethernet is like we're like a family. There's so much love that goes on behind the scenes, and we do really cool things and stuff too. We just finished a haiku contest that we're still like getting ready to release the the winner too. So it's fun that we get to do like little fun cool things like that. We do like the marathon each big patch.
Yeah.
But
I can't not hear my husband every time.
I know, I heard that. But I mean, like there's so many great content creators, and I always encourage, people to go and check out other people in the community, because it's not all about there's no harm in seeing what other people are doing, and especially if you're thinking of streaming, or you kind of just want to see what else is out there. Just kind of gives you a good idea of like what's everyone else doing, what's everyone up to, and you never know, you might find another community in that you feel like you belong to that isn't anywhere you would have thought of, because they're not big yet. They haven't like made that hurdle, because there's a lot of great people that are probably still sitting in like 3-4 viewers that just haven't been seen.
Yeah, you don't need to watch the people that other people like. Find the people that you like. Kind of like life. Like, it's not high school. Be an adult about it and find the people where you feel comfortable, and it's much more fun that way. Definitely. I love that. All right.
And it's intimate.
It is. And then if that person does happen to become popular, which doesn't matter if they do or not, you were there at the beginning, and there's some kind of like wonderful family element to that as well. So that's super
Absolutely.
fun. So now would be the segment where we would do the listener reaction, and that's also a part that I forget. That's normally actually a part that I do, but because I was doing other things, I forgot about the parts that I do. So as the last mess up of the night. So on like that's basically, I have an outro after this, but Rose, I had so much fun with you here. Like, this went by so fast.
I know. What time is it? No, it is not that time.
Yeah, it's been about an hour and 45 minutes, like that, and it went really fast. Which normally
went
I'm like
super
mad at
fast.
Pete when it goes
That's
this
what
long.
happens when you've got two of the same person and we like to go on rant tangents.
It's been a little
So,
squirrely all over the place kind of podcast. It's been wonderful. I've had a lot of fun.
I had so much fun.
Thank you
what
so
a
much.
wonderful Women's Day.
I kind of want to make this like a thing where like every March it's like, bye Pete, go on your boys trip. We're gonna do the ladies' night. Like,
Yeah, right.
If you were down, I would so have you back next year. If not,
I'd be
sooner.
down if you'll have me. If Pete isn't like, oh my gosh, Rose is never allowed on the podcast.
Oh my god, I
again.
hope he listens and goes, it was like two of you. I couldn't.
Also, she said the word fuck.
Oh no, he loves that. You're fine on that. It's like his favorite word. I wish I had like a drop. I don't have a drop for that one. But yeah, so thank you everybody in chat who came and joined us from Rose's stream and Shields I Tank. Everybody, thank you. I was really nervous. I know I've been podcasting for who knows how long now, like 3-4 years. But like I've never done it without Pete, and I didn't realize how nervous that would make me. I've never had to write the outline basically without Pete, and that, you know, and then now I get to try and edit it and make sure it gets uploaded to all the right places without Pete. So
I think you nailed it. Great job.
Thank you for joining me. And so on that note, that is going to be it for this episode. As always, we've enjoyed hanging out with all of you live here on Twitch. So thank you so much for spending your time with us. Be sure to hit that follow button so you can hear that creepy, oh yeah. Oh my god, that was magic. Sound effect that
I
sounds
was
just
waiting
like
for it.
Pete. And you'll know the next time we are going live. And a great big thank you to everyone listening to the podcast through iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, and whatever app comes out tomorrow that makes me feel really freaking old. You really are the reason we keep making episodes. And remember, wherever you do listen, it would mean a shit ton to us if you gave our little shit podcast a rating or a review. Or more importantly, tell a friend to check us out. If you're wondering why we call it the Shit Podcast because you've been here and you're new, just remember it's She Heals, I Tank, and acronyms are fun. Here with Rose, I'm Avi Ale, and we will talk to you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Now I gotta find a button to stop the